We'll explain coming up on Channel 2 News.
Radio station that's hoping the future is in the past.
This broadcast from April 22nd of 52. By that time, it was the...
Government tonight.
So, a Chicago radio station is now taking a trip down memory lane, hoping for success in the 80s by turning the clock back to another era. Bob Sirott has more.
Rather you mad fool, you. Toscanini, I Kirby and me. Yes, Toscanini, I Kirby.
This is where Lucky Strike Green is still going to war, where Lamont Cranston still knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men, and where Chuck Schaden's lifelong hobby of collecting old radio shows has grown from one shelf of tapes at home to 40,000 programs in his own studio. For the last 13 years, Schaden has taken listeners into his on-the-air time machine. First on small suburban FM stations, and now on a 50,000-watt AM giant. WCFL, asleep in the ratings for the past few years, is hoping Schaden's new 3-hour weeknight broadcasts wake up a few listeners.
Incidentally, did you know that Kinney was the first man to use a ringmaster without a mustache?
No, I didn't. Did it work out?
I'm afraid not. You see, without the mustache, the ringmaster had no authority at all, and he used to whip the clowns for laughing at him and everything.
His suburban studio is appropriately located in back of a baseball card memorabilia store. But from here, thanks to WCFL's powerful nighttime signal, most of the northeastern United States can now hear Schaden's sounds from the past.
Now let's get back to 1952 and Life with Luigi.
Now let's turn to page 2 of Luigi Basco's letter to his mother in Italy.
Well, Mamma Mia, tonight is a big dance from my association.
Schaden is fulfilling his boyhood dreams of becoming a radio announcer. By the way, that's the same radio Schaden still has in his studio today. This is the other part of Chuck Schaden's Nostalgia Empire, a store where you can buy a few memories. Here, the old radios are for sale, and so is everything else at Metro Golden Memories, including, of course, the old radio shows Schaden plays. Not only is nostalgia more popular than ever today, but it's more available than ever.
When we first opened our store, for example, you might have been able to find one book about the golden age of radio. Now, a half a dozen books exist on it.
Why the increased interest today in yesterday?
They're finding that the values of the past have something to say. And as far as the radio stuff is concerned, there's a whole generation that never really had the opportunity to listen to this kind of audio entertainment.
And for Chuck Schaden, yesterday is where he wants to be tomorrow.
I grew up with radio as a kid, doing my homework, listening to the radio. My folks saying, you'll never go anyplace listening to the radio and doing your homework, but now it turns out that listening to the radio was my homework.
Suspense.
If he stays on the air a few more years, he'll probably start playing some of my old radio shows. Schaden can only help WCFL. Right now they have more watts than listeners. They are ranked 25th among the 25 Chicago radio stations that show up in the ratings. And Don and Harry, they bumped a good radio talent, Dean Richards, to make room for Schaden's 8 o'clock nightly show, but WCFL has less than 1% of the Chicago radio audience, so you've got to make some changes.
Thank you, Bob. One of the newcomers to broadcasting, John Coughlin, will be here with the 5-day weather forecast right after a break.